What's good, YouTube? We back with another episode of the Trakwolf Godcast podcast.
Oh,
I'm your boy TrakBeatz. We got my man Cheno Bliss in the building with us today. You know what I'm saying? As always, you know what I'm saying? My brother man from another man.
yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? We got a couple brands on out here with us today. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all check them out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
we got
sir.
the creator over this way. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Fur, you know what I'm saying? House of Cuts, you know what I'm saying? Bro, putting in a lot of work over there. Make sure y'all go fuck with them.
Yes, sir.
We got Foreign Music Empire, you know what I'm saying, in the building.
Yes, sir.
Y'all go holla at O-Skills, you know what I'm saying? Bro, definitely got a dope wave going with him, you know what I'm saying? Some nice merchant products.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And we also got a nice dope partnership, you know what I'm saying, with Vinegar Hills. Salute, 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 you know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all tap in with them, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot of dope content over there. They got merch, they got everything, you know what I'm saying? Support, 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 you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But on that note, we about to jump into this motherfucking episode, you know what I'm saying? Get into this topic that we got today, you know what I'm saying? So, what we vibing on today, bro?
Man, today, vibing on the power of the mind. Power of the mind, man.
Definitely a powerful place in
This
space.
It is, man. This past week, I didn't even realize, man, I was really stuck in my mind. Usually, I'm observing my mind
Yeah.
from my spirit, but I was stuck in my mind to the point where I didn't even realize I was in my mind. I was missing days. It would be Monday, then I look up, it'll be Wednesday. I'll be like, where did Tuesday go? Like, I've never experienced that before. You know what I mean?
In your mind, is that the logic or is that the...
That's literally what I was experiencing. I've never experienced this in my life.
Gotcha.
And
See,
that-
to me, that would be more spiritual. Because it's like no time. You know what I'm saying? So,
Go explain that a little deeper for me.
Because when I was listening to you, it makes me think of like, you know how we days out into our... When I think of my mind, I'm thinking logic, you know what I'm saying? And then when I think of my spirit world, my soul, I think of very broad, no limit, you know what I'm saying? So, I feel like when we go over to that space, time doesn't exist, you know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm glad Trak said this. I was in my spirit. I was sorting through my mind.
Gotcha.
I was really sorting through my mind, and in that time, like over time, I realized I'm downloading information, I'm gaining information, but I'm also pushing out old information, old traumas, old programs that I had, and it was all a energy that was in the air. It wasn't something that I seek myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, that's what made me want to talk about the power of the mind.
So, for downloads, do you want to explain that a little bit more for the people?
Yeah. So like, to me, when I think of like information downloading, or some people call it energy downloading,
Yeah.
some people might wake up feeling different some days. Like I woke up feeling different the one day on Monday, and then when it was Wednesday and I realized, where the fuck did Tuesday go? Because I don't remember Tuesday.
Yeah.
It hit me, it started to process mentally that something was different. Like you said, the concept of time was nothing. Even if I tried to observe it, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
And so by the time it became Friday, again, I missed another day. I was just like, okay, all right. Something's really going on here. And I started noticing that when I interact with people, the things that they say to me, I'm perceiving them differently, even if it's the same information or the same type of interactions. So it started affecting my mind differently. And like information that I had in my mind already, it would start reorganizing it. Or maybe it will push a different perspective out and bring a new perspective in and make even more space, because the perspectives around that also fade away.
So the analogies that's being used right now is you can kind of correlate it to computers, you know what I'm saying? So as far as downloads is the information you receive from your spirit realm, you know what I'm saying? Information that just comes from within. It's not information you receive from outside of you in this external world, you know what I'm saying? So
yes, and a lot of the external world will actually be in sync or give you signs that correlate with your inner world. You know what I mean? And that's what I was going through a lot of that time too. So it's just like no sense of time, no sense of organization, no sense of routine. Kind of seeming like I'm sitting in my mind, but I'm really sitting in this essence, and it feels so different. I kind of felt groggy and tired all week. You know what I mean? And then by the time Saturday hit, I'm like, yo, like, where the week go? We supposed to be filming, like, you know, I hit track earlier this week, like, yo, you think we burnt out? You know what I mean? Like, and then Saturday hit, and I realized it hit me. I was just like, I'm doing all this, I'm in this spiritual place, I'm in this mental and spiritual place. My body hasn't been receiving anything for a week.
yeah.
So it hit me. I was like, I need to go get a massage so I can break down my body enough so it can receive something. You know what I mean? Because I've been going through the pandemic. I had a baby, going to the gym every other day. We sitting here filming, sitting up in these chairs, staying up with the baby, don't sleep well, so many things, you know what I mean, that affect the body. And once I got that massage, man, I was just like, everything I was experiencing and I thought I was experiencing was exactly what was happening. Like, even if it didn't make no sense logically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the mind is a powerful space. You know what I'm saying? We call it the mind. Or some do. Some do. See, that's where, and I be open for perspectives. Because for me, when I say the mind, I'm thinking up here, which correlates to the brain. Mm-hmm. And when I think my spirit, I'm thinking broader. So that's what I rearranged that term with for me. You know what I'm saying? Is when they say in the mind and you lost in your mind in all these spaces, to me, that's my spirit world. You know what I'm saying? I can time travel. I'm moving around from all these different spaces. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I seen this one video where this guru, he was talking, and he was like, how people can make you rethink or almost revisualize certain places that you had experienced before, you know what I'm saying? And he was saying, like, use your spirit world as like a house, and everywhere that you go to, you know what I'm saying, every room has something different going on, you know what I'm saying? So for an example, he had gave a wedding, you know what I'm saying, just a wedding. He started talking about the wedding, and he was just like, how did the do it, how many people has been to a wedding, you know what I'm saying? Then he was like, okay, so now remember back to the wedding. What was the bride wearing? What was the groom wearing? You know what I'm saying? What was the setting like? What was the flower smell like? What did the food taste like? You know what I'm saying? And basically, after he got done giving all those like little pointers to bring people into that space, he was like, now you see how I was able to take you to this other room back in a time to where you can almost visualize these same exact events that you experienced, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, that's pretty dope. So it's like when you walking past or you moving past these rooms in your house, you know what I'm saying? When you go into a room, you turn the light on. So then that's the thoughts you start thinking about the most, you know what I'm saying? So like if you don't want to think about something, don't go in that room or turn that light on, you know what I'm saying? You just keep it moving down your hallway.
What do you think about the perspective of someone might say that that's avoiding something?
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's avoiding if you utilizing it the right way. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, if I went through some shit that wasn't like on my happy side, you know what I'm saying? sometimes, not now anymore because I done grown and revisited these spaces. I would go revisit these spaces and get to the root, you know what I'm saying, and figure out what happened, what caused it, why was I feeling that way, why did I act that way, respond that way, blah, blah. But it's not something I hang out in that space and I think about, oh, I can't believe I did that, or can't believe this happened, you know what I'm saying, and start beating myself up because the shit has already happened. I'm only time traveling to this space to figure out, okay, what was I experiencing, why was I going through that at the time, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so how did your mind get to the point where it was that disciplined? Because that doesn't seem like such a simple thing to do, to just be like, all right, something happened right here, I got a memory attached to it, I had this experience with it, let me just leave that shit.
I think for me, like, it's not just a leave thing. You kind of have to. All right. So for an example, like like my sperm donor, he was in and out, but not really around. You know what I'm saying? Why I use that term. So for me, growing up, I held a lot of anger and frustration that I didn't know of, kind of towards him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as I got older and I finally got to a better space in my inner space, you know what I'm saying, and I had re-seen him again after that, when we sat down and talked, and I was a man then, I realized, like, with him talking and the shit he was saying, it made me realize how little and small of a person he was, you know what I'm saying? Instead of, like, communicating with me like a man, you giving me these sob stories about shit that you've been through while we haven't been around, which, nigga, you ain't never been around. So that shouldn't even be the point of discussion. So as soon as you open up your mouth and these are the first things you choosing to discuss, I'm not in that space, so I already know, okay, damn, I used to think this nigga was up here, even though he wasn't in the way, you know what I'm saying, like, but now I see you and I'm looking at you like, everything, your posture, your gesture, everything was submissive, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
From everything just felt weak, you know what I'm saying, so then, like, after that situation, all that energy transferred out of me, you know what I'm saying, because the energy don't disappear, so that's why you don't leave shit unaddressed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So that was one of the longest things I left unaddressed. So when I addressed it and I finally got that off me, and no more anger, animosity towards me, or towards him, you know what I'm saying? I keep my space. You live yours, I live mine, you know what I'm saying? But I don't have that energy on me no more, you know what I'm saying? I've already addressed in this, like, you're weaker, I'm stronger. That's why this is the way it is, you know what I'm saying? If you were supposed to be, we were supposed to have a better relationship, you would have been a stronger person, you know what I'm saying? Or you would have had other things in line that kind of correspond to show that you wanted something more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
But outside of trying to figure out somebody else's perspective, that's what it was for me in my spirit world, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like for me, there are very little things that, because there are things you do just walk past. There are doors you do you just walk past the doors. Those doors don't deserve the energy, or you don't have the energy to put into what's behind those doors. But like,
what kind of doors would those be?
Those will be doors that, you know, at the moment you cannot handle based on your morals and principles, or you know you cannot handle mentally, physically, spiritually. You know what I mean? Like, it's better to survive and preserve yourself until you can do something than to just try to do something, to me. You know what I mean? But if you have the wherewithal to do it, you got to do it. You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of times I put myself, not in those situations where, just extreme situations, but I put myself in situations where I need to better myself in this area. What
happens is, everything, a lot of shit we do is unknown, so we have to experience that shit. So I agree with you 1,000%. We got to experience life, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's some shit you're afraid of or some shit you really want to do, you know what I'm saying? We just happen to put more energy into the shit we want to do opposed from the shit we're afraid of, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's something, you're right. I transferred the energy of what I wanted to do. I made self-development the number one thing I want to do.
is develop myself to be the best person. Because I think that's what everybody's trying to do. So why not make that your main goal? To be the best person I can every waking moment that I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for the ones of us that think that way. I
Yeah.
realize this universe is huge, and a lot of people, we got polar opposites. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. So in order to stay on that spectrum, the way the system is set up, you have to stay disciplined.
And that's also what I want to talk about with the power of the mind too, because through this past week, I have realized, and this is something that you say a lot, but it's something that I wasn't really conscious of how to do as much, because I was more so in my mind and my spirit, not in my body. You said people need to embrace their darkness, embrace their dark side. Now I pick and choose. That's some of the doors I walk past right there.
Yeah.
Some of the darknesses that I have and some of the traumas that I have that need to be embraced and addressed at a root level, not just at a leaf of the tree level, but at the root of the tree level. You know what I mean?
We doing it to the point to where we don't want to get hurt sometimes by doing it at the leaf level.
At the leaf,
when you trying to pull a root out or cut a tree down, it's going to take more energy.
Yeah.
So
you might pull a muscle, tree might fall on you. Depends on what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it. You know what I mean?
Some people commit suicide physically, but a lot of people commit it spiritually.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that don't get discussed either. You know what I'm saying? Killing yourself spiritually by holding on, doing stuff like that.
And spiritually, it usually translates mentally and spiritually into physical disease.
Yeah.
Or death. You know what I mean? Like that's literally how dis-ease manifests in the mind or the spirit.
That's why you gotta keep your mind sharp. You know what I'm saying? So,
and
when I think of, now that we talking about it more, I guess we say mind, body, and soul. So the mind would be more of the logic part of your thinking, right? That's what I would think of. So,
you want to know what's crazy, bro?
See, I was more logical before I was more spiritual, before I knew myself innerly. You know what I'm saying?
I was too.
So,
and the way I perceive it is like this. It's just like, and Track has sent me somewhere. It's just like how to monitor how people may think of you, and I also seen my thoughts with that too. So my mind will think something, and then I'll respond to the thought. It's not necessarily me thinking the thought. I always respond to the thought, even if I don't respond out loud.
yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. This is a good idea. Whatever it is, like I'm responding to it. So I look at myself as the presence that's responding to the thought and occupying the body, and really the mind and the body is one.
So when you say responding, if you even have to respond that way, that means you don't like to
identify with my mind,
and you don't like to not have people not respond to you. So do you feel like that kind of
explain that a little bit deeper.
Like being in situations where you're talking to somebody and then they're not responding to
Hate
you.
that shit.
So have you experienced that so much to where you just went to where now where you think that thought, like how you just said, subconsciously it just came to you and you just responded to it anyways innerly?
Well, throughout the entire journey, because this is a deep, like I was talking to Track, it's just like walking through the dark alone. Like I was walking through the dark alone for a week, and the things I picked up mainly from it is that everything, the way I operate is based on my fears in general. When I meet somebody, I'm already preparing for them to leave at any moment as soon as I meet them. You know what I mean? I already come with something of value in my hand so that you can barely deny me. You know what I mean? I know you're more than likely interested in what I have in value. I even started making music, so you have to hear my perspective. You know what I mean? Like everything I do is so I don't feel abandoned and I feel listened to. You know what I mean? And attachment issues was also something that goes hand in hand with the abandonment. You know what I mean? Because if you finally find something you connect with, you don't want it to go. You know what I mean? For me.
So, now that we still talking about the mind, and since we correlated that with being logical as well, how do you feel like that played a role for you in what you was just explaining?
Can you go a little bit broader with that?
So like, when you going through these times and spaces where you feeling abandoned or whatever, you know what I'm saying, like, or feeling alone, like,
I'm glad you said that, because that triggered the main point of what I'm saying, and it correlates with the question too, because it's like in times like this, you download the information. Part of downloading the information is you seeing what you need to work on within yourself so that you can get to the next level and transform. Because this is the things that I've been doing to stagnate myself. You know what I mean? Like, even me and you were talking, and like niggas would say stuff, or people, not even niggas. Another thing that was like, I do pick my words better, but I have to pick them even better. People say things like, "Don't nobody fuck with me," and that's because I don't fuck with nobody. You know what I mean? Like, it goes hand in hand. You know what I mean? Like, what you as a man think of, so he is, and that's exactly what I think, and that's exactly the reality. And I've seen it in positive ways. In Cheno Bliss, I manifest, so why wouldn't it be in the dark ways too?
yeah.
So I got to learn to embrace that and look at that and accept that within myself to change it if I want to. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the darkness in the process, because it's just like, when I do feel abandoned, I want vengeance. I want vengeance. Fuck that bliss shit. Like, you know, like, I want you to feel what I feel.
Yeah, nah, I feel you. So I wonder, why is that always our first, I guess it's not always our first reaction. It just depends on how the situation transpired.
You know why? Because I feel like it's like we see that as the only way to make the other person pay attention or care. Because we feel like they don't care like they said they did before. So we just like, well, I know you gonna care if I...
So I guess it's two ways. Or you just want to hurt the other person.
Maybe. I personally want the person to see how I feel so they will relate to me, maybe. I really just want it back. Really, when we're really talking about it, I want you to see how I feel so maybe I can see if you respect me enough to know that I'm hurt to this level and you should change what you're doing. Like, you know what I mean? Or not treat me like that. Like...
I feel like that these are all like, and now we're getting away from the mind subject. This is like more like spiritual rules. You know what I'm saying? But we have to push a lot of our own spiritual rules to the side because we got physical rules in place.
Well, I think they're all connected, man. Mind, body, and spirit, even though they separate, like...
Because we don't take on that other side of like we would if we didn't have these physical rules in place.
I think you have to have a certain level of leveling logically to even make a spiritual contract. You know what I mean?
Well, not a spiritual contract. I'm talking about spiritual rules. We got the government rules that they sit up here for us to follow, which they got that concept from the spiritual rules.
Well, so what's the difference between a spiritual contract and spiritual rules to you?
A spiritual contract is signing an agreement. Spiritual rules is just like, hey, you don't do this. Hey, you don't do that. It's just like these rules they have out here, like the physical rules.
Wouldn't that be like morals and principles? Wouldn't that be like more based on how you grew up, like who you were around?
No, I'm talking about
like not killing, not stealing, shit like that.
No,
like,
I'm talking about as far as the government, they got rules.
So what are some spiritual rules? Because I never really
that's what I'm saying. We just spoke of one. Everybody, when something happens to them, they have to make them feel what they just felt.
Okay, so it's like the laws of physics type of thing. Like every action has an opposite but equal reaction type of thing. Like,
nah, I mean, if you want to confuse it that way, but I'm correlating.
Well, I'm just trying to find like
I'm correlating it to the system rules.
Mm-hmm.
So the system, the government got rules and laws that we have to follow.
Yes.
So they created this concept from our inner spiritual laws and rules that we follow.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were connecting it that way. That the government mapped it.
You know, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Hell yeah. So that's what I'm saying. When you feel that way, their rules cut off our spiritual rules. So then that makes us, since we are humans and energetic beings, and we pretty intelligent, we know how to maneuver ourselves around.
And I mean, even when you're saying that, like, I was never really in tune with my body, so I've never really been in tune with the worldly rules. I know them mentally. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm just starting to really step into my body.
Well, you don't speed every day when you get in the car and ride. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff we do that's following the rules.
Yeah.
So those are rules.
I understand. What they are.
Yeah. So it's like they got those from the spiritual rules, which get cut off a lot from their rules.
And the more different ways we say the same things, I get the perspective. Like, yeah, it's all the same thing. Like, it's all the same. I
use it that way because other people watch it. It's probably going to comprehend it from using a more recent example. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I try to give closer examples as far as using the government, something they can also think of.
Shit, I need a deeper understanding. I had never heard of, and I get the concept and I get spiritual rules now because that's really all of anything is. Anything written is just something that somebody came up with and put it on a piece of paper or whatever they wrote it on. You know what I mean? So everything is.
But it's certain ones that we all feel that we know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know when you do something and you feel guilty for it.
I call them universal laws. We just different names for them. I understand. Yeah.
Definitely.
So like, I remember I was talking to you. I called you, and it was a couple days into this film week, and I was just like, bro, you think we burnt out? And you was like, yeah, I think we burnt out. Yeah. So like, what was this week like for you? Because like, you usually are the one where I might be burnt out to an extent. Sometimes you like, all right, we gotta keep going, player. We got 97 guests this week. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, God damn, man.
Yeah, I was burnt. I think spiritually, I was just exhausted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I needed to replenish myself. You know what I'm saying? There was no. I pushed myself spiritually, physically, you know what I'm saying, mentally. So if I'm pushing all three of them to the max, physically, you feel it first, but it really don't hit until you like, you know, your spirit starts weighing you down. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in a space now where it don't affect my body. I could just feel my spirit, you know what I'm saying, my energy just being weighed down, just exhausted and burnt out. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, bro, you just running so hard right now. I think right now it's just time to break. And then when I broke, you know what I'm saying, I started downloading more information. You know what I'm saying? So
it's interesting you say it like that because we had mentioned before, like, Track is more in tune with the body. I've been more in tune with the spirit, and we're balancing each other out like that and learning the other half just energetically. But like, my body was tired. Like, my body was like, I was like, I ain't even do shit. I ain't go to the gym. I'm like, yo, like, I don't want to do nothing. I don't even feel like sitting up about this bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's funny that you said, no, my body was fine, but my spirit was heavy, yo. Like, it's just interesting that you say it like that.
Yeah, my shit was exhausted. But, you know, like, I believe that I also, for me, like, when I be out in public a lot too, like, I absorb a lot of other energies, you know what I'm saying? So, like,
yes,
I have a day where it's perfectly fine, and then I go out somewhere, and I could be around nobody not saying nothing, just in and out of somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, or I could have drove past something or past something, and then it's almost like I could feel that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit just hit my spirit. Like, damn. Now I'm in the process of trying to keep my spirit up if it was trying to pull it down, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, why am I trying to keep my spirit up right now? Like, what the fuck? I'm in a good mood. Like,
I'm just looking at you while you say this, bro, and it's cool. This is why you should find people that you connect with on levels, and you should know the levels, because as he's saying, it's like, my mind is going through my situation and it's filling in the blanks to my situation. You know what I mean? But yeah, you was trying to lift your spirit up.
Yeah. Just, I wasn't trying to, but just moving around certain places, you know what I'm saying? I just feel very empathic, you know what I'm saying?
Empathic?
Yeah.
What is that?
Being an empath. It's just like...
I know, but like, I know how I would describe that. How would you describe it?
To me, it's like I'm like the charger You know what I'm saying? I'm like the electric charger. Like, I give energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I do. I give energy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So with me giving so much energy, it don't even have to always be in physical contact giving energy. You know what I'm saying? I still give energy spiritually. So shit, when your battery drain out, you gotta recharge that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the stuff that you're saying, like, yeah, it's helping me realize, like, yo, I was really exhausting a lot of energy. And like, even the way you describe empathy and sympathy, like in my head, I describe it just in a logical sense. I'm just like, yo, if you feel sympathy for somebody, you feel bad. If you got empathy, you're feeling for the situation rather than feeling bad for the situation. Like, you're showing understanding, showing compassion. But that's the same as giving energy.
Yeah.
Like, that's the same thing. Like, when I speak to you and we say the same, that's the same thing I mean by, like, I hear the same things, the same information I get, but I perceive it differently. You know what I mean? That happens a lot with him, even outside of this week. Like, he'll just say something. Like, I'll just be like, yo, I said I'd be vulnerable. He'd be like, oh, you submissive. I'd be like, nah. He'd be like, nah, that's what vulnerable is. Like, damn, I've been trying to avoid that all my life. What you mean? Damn. Oh, my God. But
shit, yeah.
And yeah, that's good perspective, man. It reorganizes a lot of stuff in my mind, man. So like, when you found yourself trying to pick your spirits up, like, how did it affect your mind? What type of things did it set you into doing?
I think of forwarding things when I'm trying to pick my spirit up. You know what I'm saying? So for me, picking myself up is reaching forward. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking forward. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I put myself in a space to where I'm trying to think of new ideas, or I start just fucking, oh, damn, I need to get over to make some beats, and then I just start telling myself, all right, what kind of beats you gonna make? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you'll never know what kind of beats you gonna make. You just gonna get, and it's this whole dialogue thing. Now I'm not even thinking about the other shit. Now I'm thinking about beats, and then from beats it's like, oh shit, I know I gotta get the other episodes of this Godcast ready. You know what I'm saying? So now I already shifted from being in that space just from reaching myself up. You know what I'm saying? So,
on a percentage scale, how high is your self-doubt? Because mine is pretty high internally, and I gotta fight with that sometimes. You know what I mean?
As soon as you said that, it hit like 20%, 15%. That was the first number that came to mind, was 20%.
Really?
20%, 15%.
At first I was thinking extreme, because that's how my mind goes extreme. I was like 70. I was like, no, nigga, what the fuck? My shit is about 33 to 40. I gotta fight, like, I got an internal struggle, like, where I gotta fight.
See, I like that 20 because it's a good balance for me, because it's way lower than my 50, being at 50%, you know what I'm saying? But it's letting me know that it's still there, you know what I'm saying? It's like a little reminder, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, stay on your toes.
So in what ways have you ever had to deal with self-doubt, or in what ways do you manage self-doubt?
I think of situations where somebody told me I couldn't do something, or where I told myself I couldn't do something and I proved myself wrong. That's the first thing I do every single time. Every single time, yo. Like, that's the first thing. For me, like, learning is fun now. That's what I tell my daughter. It shouldn't have been so painful before, you know what I'm saying? Like, learning was painful growing up. Like, god damn, this shit hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, we can learn what we want now.
Yeah. We should have had the choice then. We should have been more aware of the choice then, and it should have been given to us differently. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but on that note, we're gonna cut to this break, and we're gonna slide back to y'all. So we back from the break. You know what I'm saying? So our next subject we about to get into, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be transformation. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. So when did you get to that space? You know what I'm saying? When did you realize you was transforming? What is your definition of transformation?
Well, transformation for me is when I become, for me, a better version of myself. or a different version of myself, I should say. I won't necessarily say better, because sometimes the versions can't even compare.
Yeah.
But I became a different version of me, and this time I realized it when I realized I needed a massage. Cause like that's something that I used to do a lot, and I ain't really had the time to do. I was like, I'd rather use this money for something else. I got a son now, you know. I got goals, dreams I could put it towards. But you know, I called once, it didn't work out. Then I called again, and I was like, I have to get this. I have to get my body. I have to see if my body is receiving information too, because my body is blocked off. You know what I mean? I work out. You know, I got situations, I got my son, I don't sleep that much. I don't know how in tune my body is. You know, I eat certain things sometimes that may not be the best, but not as often. Either way, my energy and my mind was telling me that I needed to get my body in order. And I was just like, okay, this is different. Because usually I want to get my body in order, but it was like, you need to get your body in order. So once I got my body in order, man, even while I was getting a massage, like usually as a man, I don't want to be on the table making all these noises and stuff. Like I'm like trying to hold this shit in and shit. But I was on the table like the lady was like laughing at me and shit. I was laughing with her because it was just like it felt good to be comfortable enough to release what I had in me that I didn't want. Rather than
what didn't you want?
This tenseness, this tension that I know I got the option to release, to submit to this deep pressure that may hurt right now, but I know it's gonna help me. But I used to always worry about how I'm gonna sound, how I'm gonna look, how I'm gonna feel about how I sound and look while I'm doing this. This time the energy was just too much. It was like, this is what you need to do, and I did it. And it was freeing, bro. Like I came into my body, not just physically like, oh, I feel better, but I was just like, I identify with this. It was an energy thing. The same way I identify with my spirit and sometimes my mind, I can feel this connection with my body now. You know what I mean?
So, when you use the massage as that place, could you have gotten that massage from home?
Well, I don't believe so. It's just like, I mean, you can get a massage from home, but it's just like, if you want to make an album, how good of an album do you want to make? You can get somebody that rap, that you know, or you can get the dude that really can rap. You know what I mean? So I'm going to the place that specializes in what I would like.
Yeah.
You know, and I've tried different massage places, so I know different techniques. So I'm just like, this is what I need right now. I need a massage, and I need them to stretch me out. I need them to sit me up, I need to be aligned. You know what I mean? I need to realign, because my mind and my spirit is realigning, so I need to realign my body as well. I can't neglect that.
So how did that transform you?
Once my body wasn't tense and it was relaxed and it was still tired, but it was relieved, it felt and flowed like my mind and my spirit. So it was, everything felt in sync. Like it wasn't even really something where I was really sitting there like, oh, I'm transformed because of this massage. It was something like, you really needed that. You feel completely different than you felt ever. You feel different. You knew you needed that. You did it. You feel different. Things look different. Like, you don't feel like, even like, this place looks different now. Like, I feel like I'm a new person. You know what I mean? And I'm familiar with these places because I've been here, but the perspective I have on everything is different.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that being a thing. And when you mentioned what you were saying about how you felt transformed after that, it made me think that about my situations and how I transformed into the right individual or spirit I needed to be at each point I was in my life. When I think about everything that I've been through, on the upside or on the other side, you know what I'm saying? I I transformed to where I needed to be and what I need to be in order for me to get through that experience in my life.
Exactly.
It's a dope process when you really look at it, you know what I'm saying, and you take it back in.
Yeah, and even like, you know, I've mentioned a couple times before, like you've been more in tune with your body, and I haven't. So when I stepped into my body this time, it felt like when I stepped into my spirit, and that was different. Like I felt comfortable, and I felt like I can be here for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not used to that. I'm used to being here for a while or there for a while. Here, everywhere, in the spirit. Like,
that's
I'm not used to being here, grounded.
I know this very well, so I love being able to go everywhere spiritually, you know what I'm saying? So, and I wouldn't recommend them, but I would recommend them. Psychedelics, research them and learn them, you know what I'm saying? Psychedelics, research them and learn them.
Yes.
I definitely would recommend that part, you know what I'm saying? But they open up your perspective, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when I had took a trip, it was like after that one, that last one, it was like everything was put at peace, you know what I'm saying? So like everything that's been going on or that I've been going through or that's been going on out here, like the shit don't move me spiritually, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't pull my spirit this way, you know what I'm saying? My spirit just be like, oh, it's over there, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it don't have that
same effect.
It don't have that pull on me no more. So for me, that was my big transformation, you know what I'm saying? So even dealing with people and communicating with people became a lot easier, you know what I'm saying? Like, because now it's, with it being more peace, I'm not thinking war or battle or fight or friction or whatever it may be at the back of the mind, you know what I'm saying? It's more so on just thinking, understanding of this person while communicating with them, you know what I'm saying?
So since we already done cracked the seal to this motherfucker, how did you become aware of psychedelics?
You already know, them shits through school, they float around, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that brings awareness to them, you know? That brought my awareness to them, but I wasn't I was still chilling in, you know what I'm saying? I went till after school when I tried them. And them shits were straight, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I wasn't spiritually aware and I tried them, it was fun on a different level, you know what I'm saying?
Like an exploratory level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like on a tourist mode, you know what I'm saying? They're pointing me and directing me to these places. And then I hadn't touched them, and then like 10 years later, like it's been a while, and then they finally pop back up again. I'm like, oh, hey, I've been connecting. I'm ready to see what's up for real. So when I had tried them this time, it was a whole nother ball game, because now I'm connected. So it's like, it brought way more understanding and clarity to a lot of things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I still wasn't at that place of like fully transforming like I was at the last one. Like the last one was transformation. The other ones was still like me exploring, but exploring at a more aware level now. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm driving myself to these places, you know what I'm saying? Before I was a tourist, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you're saying.
Now it's like, oh shit, I'm driving. Let's go. Where we going? All right, let's go over here. Let's go over here. All right, I'm about to chill over here for a while. Damn, this one got me. I'm about to chill over here for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, once you in that space, I feel like they make them illegal because they know that it'll make people way more aware. You know what I'm saying? Of self and of the other aspect of this life that we do, that we are a part of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think when I was younger, I probably first heard about it through like the government experiments that they did back in like the 50s, 60s and shit, when they was using LSD to try to do like mind control and like I guess truth serums or whatnot. But an experiment and stuff. But then when I was in high school, somebody had bought like some mushrooms, and they was like, "Yeah, more mushrooms." I seen them jokes, they had crystals on it. I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "What's that?" I was like, "Yo, I'm scared of that, yo. Like, I don't even know what to do with this. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to eat that?" I was like, "I don't know, man. I don't even like mushrooms, bro. Like in real life, so I don't even know." I was scared. I wasn't in that right place. And with any substance that you take, man, like you have to know that you're in the right place to do that. Because like even with smoking, some people smoke green, some people smoke bud. It's a psychoactive thing. It can make you feel and go manic because you're trapped in your mind. You're trapped in your thoughts, and if you're not comfortable with what's in your mind and the things that you think and feel, sometimes that's very uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And different things affect you in different ways.
And the bad part about that is sometimes you go through experiences out here that, you know what I'm saying,
that molds your mind.
That's kind of out of your control.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and do kind of put you in that space.
So when I was in high school, I was scared of that. But earlier this year, I ran into him. I was like, all right, like I've been working on myself for years. Like, let me see, because it's something called Have a Nice Trip. I looked at that. And I did my own research, and I'm just like, I got perspective on it, and I'm just like, okay, the main consensus is make sure it's a good day or you are in a very good space. That's the main consensus.
Yeah.
Period. That's the main consensus. You're in a good space in life, and in your mind, and in your spirit. Like, just be there. Like, and so like, as he's saying, like, you know, try some mushrooms. Alright, like it's showing me, it's showing me the things inside of me, it's organizing thoughts, it's putting it out there and I'm organizing it, but the way you're processing is on all levels, it's mind, body, and spirit. And sometimes it's overwhelming because you may be more of a mental person and now you're in tune with your body, like, I don't know what, then your mind is like, oh shit, what's wrong with my body, because it's usually not in tune with that, you know what I mean, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And
what's crazy with that part of this, sorry to cut you off, is that it's like, they like less lethal than alcohol, you know what I'm saying? You know how alcohol will give you that hard, heavy, woozy feeling, you know what I'm saying? You got the hangovers. When you take a trip, you're not going to catch these hangovers, you know what I'm saying? I never experienced any hangovers for it, you know what I'm saying? More of the alcohol drinking, them was when the hangovers was coming back around, but it definitely makes you feel a lot more in tune with everything, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you gotta do a lot of research, you know what I'm saying? Don't just indulge in anything. You definitely want to look into shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know, tried that a couple times, you know, and I'm starting to have more peace and balance within my own being, not relating it to that, but to the experiences I had internally with that. And then you know, you also realize this ain't something that you do every motherfucking day.
Nah, hell no.
You know what I mean? This ain't no play stuff. Like,
it's like when you really need to figure out something and like you just like, you're not in a bad space, but you just really need some answers. You know what I'm saying?
And really, you know more times than you know that you shouldn't be doing this more times than you should. How about that? Like, you just like, it's just not the time to do this. You know what I mean? Like, it's no reason to continuously look at the cheat sheet. It's no reason to continuously look at the cheat sheet. It's no point in living. You know what I mean? And Lord knows what that even does to the game. You get what I'm saying? Like,
that's why it's something you gotta be mature about. You know what I'm saying?
Without question. Without
you
question.
definitely have to be mature about the process, because it's like you can dibble and dabble, but you have to know it's a limit to it. You know what I'm saying? That's not one of them things you wanna max out on. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, hell no.
But like, if you in a space where you just need some answers and you trying to figure out something, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, spiritually, you're in that space. Do some research. You know what I'm saying? I ain't telling you go out and find nobody. I'm just saying, do some research and just look into some different alternatives. You know what I'm saying? To kind of get more connected and grounded with yourself. Because even if you don't, sometimes just listening to these other people explain things, they're explaining stuff to you from a completely different perspective. You know what I'm saying? I haven't watched any of them or seen any of them where they're explaining stuff to me like I would get it from the news, or if I was, you know what I'm saying, to watch something that's real big mainstream.
Yeah, you know what? It's, you really see the sentiment in yourself, the intent in yourself, and the intent in other things. You see things at its most basic and genuine form, whether it's genuine towards you or not. You know what I mean? Genuine in the sense of the nature of whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Even yourself.
It was mind blowing is a lot of these authors and writers and like all these big higher up people they know what's up. They be dead on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you watch a lot of the movies, like, you can see that they had to go somewhere spiritually to come up with this concept.
Some people, like athletes and other people, just regular people, do something called microdosing with mushrooms, where they just put a certain percentage in little capsules and they just pop them in throughout the day.
Yeah, or people drink the teas as well too.
Exactly.
I see them doing the teas to sip on, so it's easier to kind of portion and balance it there too.
Yeah. So like, what type of transformations did you notice within yourself, or like how you operated?
I noticed that it made me feel more me. You know what I'm saying? I guess personally, I already kind of had been fighting and facing my battles because I didn't have.
Personally fighting and facing your battles.
I guess personally, I was already fighting and facing my battles through my other situations that I was already going through and shit. So I was already figuring out how to get connected. But when you research when I was researching and learning shit, and then, you know, when I'm learning shit about what this is, but then I'm also seeing shit with other people, like big name people connected to it, you know what I'm saying, as far as how they use it for their research, or how they use it for, you know, when they need to, you know, figure certain things out, you know what I'm saying. So it was like being spiritually more me. It made me be more aware and more confident in myself. It boosted my confidence level on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I had low confidence to begin with, you know what I'm saying, but it leveled my shit up even more. You know what I'm saying? But it's not no confident thing to where it's a boast and brag, but it's just like you've been manifesting a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? You can literally run through all of these rooms and point out all of this shit that you just manifested, you know what I'm saying? Whether you want to go back from when you was little, or whether you want to start back 5 years ago when you started TrakBeatz, you know what I'm saying? Manifest a lot of shit in between there. Here are all the signs to show you that what you are doing is working, and you already know all the other signs from the other direction. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't even take me down that road. You know, my thought process, my spirit just always take me into the forward end of it, the positive, whatever I can pull out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like they always say, pull the positive out of anything, but that's literally what I do. My spirit does. You know what I'm saying? So
it's when you're saying that, it just, the way my mind is operating, it's just like I don't know how the body moves. I look for how the mind makes the body react. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you naturally, because even the conversation, the way you just, I can say something to you, just like, oh, nah, they doing this. I'm like, yo, I ain't even give you the context yet. You like, nah, this is what's happening. And then, like, certain situations, I'm like, this is what's happening. Like, and you just like, yo, I know people. Like, I know people. I know minds. I know emotions, but you know people. You know what I mean? Like,
what happened was it made me become more like aware to an extreme max, to where like I just know, you know what I'm saying, just from my moving around my whole life, and then being forced to sit in a place for a handful of years, you know what I'm saying, and then becoming more in tune, and then taking a trip, and then using all of these, you know what I'm saying. It was like just lining all of this shit up right here, just kind of showing me like, yo, just figure out how to use your X-Men. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your X-Men, you been using it, you know what I'm saying? Like, just use it. You know what I'm saying? I used to always say I was fucking monster in sports and all of that shit, you know what I'm saying? I ran around, did what I did outside too, and niggas know what's up, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I still was me, and I still was like, it was never no other shit unless it was like someone created a situation. But then outside of that, it was all like still real genuine connections, because I moved around a lot, so that's all I was focused on, was just making genuine connections. I got used to the separation part, you know what I'm saying? So like you were saying about the attachment part, it was the same thing for me. It's just I had to learn it at a faster rate. Everything was Excel for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
when you say Excel, what you mean?
Accelerated.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that shit was accelerated to the max.
I feel you.
So, while we discussing transformation, you know what I'm saying, I was also talking about manifesting, you know what I'm saying, because we use that word, but it's kind of like creating too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To us, it is, but it's almost like, to it, I guess, to a certain degree. I mean, everything we do is coming from inward, outward, but it's almost on a bigger scale scheme, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, because I can create some shit by writing on a piece of paper. Yeah, I had to think about it, but it was just...
Manifesting is more personalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel like that correlates with your transformation?
I feel like the transformation was manifesting. Like, me going to get the massage was me bringing it into the physical. I could have had all this information, and I could have missed the opportunity or the biggest prime window to get the most information at that time. You know what I mean? And I'm spiritual, so that's how it would work. If today is the day you're supposed to be at work, nigga, you get paid today.
Yeah.
Get here today. If you don't, you probably can work tomorrow if we got some extra hours, or if we still, you get what I'm saying? Like, I had to do it then and there, and I know that's just how it worked. That's how, like you said, they base the world on the spiritual, and I had to do it then. And when I did it, like I said, not a new person. Like, ooh, I feel brand new. I'm like, I just grounded this energy I've been experiencing this whole week that was so heavy that my old version couldn't carry it. You get what I mean?
And I think also what we fighting is too, is like not to be a part of that energy that's being forced out here right now. You know what I'm saying? We just had the new year. You got the political shit going on, you know what I'm saying? We don't even discuss that shit, you know what I'm saying? We trying to stay grounded over here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I don't even look at that stuff, man.
Like, all of that shit is attention, is energy.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving it to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, the more you talk about it, the more you post about it, you giving them energy, you know what I'm saying? It got pushed so much from me trying to get up there and promote that I put a splash of my opinion up there, just on like some repost kind of shit, somebody else shit, but it wasn't even nothing major, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, that was my piece of energy I was gonna give it, and I'm not giving it no more energy. I'm aware and mindful of what's going on, you know what I'm saying, but I don't care about either wing, you know what I'm saying. They both part of the same bird.
Yeah, it seems stage. That's
all
I
really
want to say.
Yeah,
it seems stage.
Yeah, the whole thing. So when you focus on staying grounded and you trying to stay prepared, you know what I'm saying, that brings peace. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I ain't ready for war, but I'm at peace. Because I'm not at war right now. I'm at peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, spiritually, they try. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
the thing is this, too, man. Like, the way the body works and the mind is part of the body, it can only get but so big. It can only get but so strong. It's only but so durable. Your mind is the same way. Your spirit is infinitely deep.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much substance that you can throw in there, man. Like, it's so much depth. It's everything. That's why I boxed myself. I was like, oh, you want to put me in a box? Throw me in a box that you can't put me in a box. That's my box. You know what I mean?
And I like to challenge myself. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there was a comment made, and I was wearing the fucking hats. He made a statement a couple weeks ago. I still was wearing the hats, and I was challenging myself. You know what I'm saying? Not like I need to fucking wear them, but that's just a small prime example. You know what I'm saying? I didn't start off wearing the hats, but somebody just made a statement. You know, it was just a statement. So then I just leaned on the statement a little bit more. You made that statement, I was like, hey, challenge myself. Run this shit over here, you know what I'm saying? Like,
somebody had put a program in there.
Yeah, don't be trying to slide your programs on me. Like, what you trying to download over here? Like,
and it's great that you say that, because even with transformation, man, like, it's just like people can transform into anything. I've done that before in old relationships, bro. Even after you leave, I leave the relationship and I make all the changes that the girl wanted me to make, try to get the girl back. I'm over here listening to Chris Brown, got a hot top and shit. Like, you know, this not even being me taking the programs was like, you look nice with this. You should be more open-minded. Yeah. And it did help me. I can't say the suggestions helped me. My intent was just, it wasn't doing it for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But on that note, we gonna slide to this break and we gonna cut back to y'all. That's cause them shits was cutting short in between there and fucked up the timing on my spare. Like, what the fuck going on with the timing? Shit was fucking it up. So we can go into that subject. We was talking about something and then it made me think of something I want to lead into. But with me trying to pay attention, I always lose my thought because my main focus is to pay attention, but sometimes I try to work that secondary in there.
Yeah,
and then I lose the secondary because now I'm fully engaged in the primary. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, niggas be smacked sometimes. Be like, oh shit, I forgot I zoned out. All right, let me get
it. Hell yeah.
Alright, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there was something else I wanted to discuss while we was talking. I was thinking, damn, that'd be a nice break for the next one.
We was talking about transformation, how you can transform into things, you know, that you don't want to, the time of the transformation, she put the program in with the hat.
Maybe it was something around the programming. That one said better. What was it about the programming?
We was talking about the capital shit vaguely, but how we won't pay attention to it.
And then we was talking about shorty girl trying to upload programs. So maybe we can make this one awareness of the programs that are trying to be uploaded to us that we're not downloading.
Okay.
So we back from the break, you know what I'm saying? So what we about to get into, our last subject, is motherfuckers trying to force uploads on you, you know what I'm saying? And being more mindful of what you download, You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, it's just as far as computer terminology, because that's what they formulated that from. You know what I'm saying? From us.
Yes.
Italy. So, with that being said, you know what I'm saying? So, how do you feel about people forcing uploads on you or making you be more mindful, aware of uploads?
The deeper in awareness and consciousness I get, I realize that that's what spiritual warfare really is, and it's always my job to be able to be aware and defend against stuff like that. So I can only be but so mad at somebody who sees an opportunity. Just because I'm the opportunity, I can only be but so biased. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because if I see opportunities, I take them too. But
so
I may take them differently.
Do you think it's easier for people who subconsciously start off already fighting the system, like just not for it already, just at a young age? Because some people grew up already being against it, like me. And then you got some other people who grew up being for it, but then they gain knowledge and then they start being more against it.
I think it's harder at first for people who are aware, but then it becomes easier as you get older. It's like when your parents be like, you do appreciate the values that your parents instilled in you, where they may have made you do your work, or they may have made you stay in the house because it kept you out of shit. It kept you into better things. You know what I mean? So I look at it the same way.
It's pretty interesting. I think as far as that concept, I'm like as far as the head example, you know what I'm saying? That was like somebody trying to put an upload on me. You know what I'm saying? And I had to show that I'm aware of this upload, you know what I'm saying? And then I had the choice on whether I wanted to accept it or not, you know what I'm saying? So with me accepting the upload, it's like, okay, now that's in my download file, but now I know that I'm not strictly stuck with just this download, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think this is where it can get tricky for a lot of people, because the intent of the person putting this program out may affect how you feel about the program in the first place. Then you may discover the intent was something different afterwards, and you feel completely different about this program.
Yeah.
Because you feel different about the person now, you know what I mean?
So how you feel about the uploads you put on the people? Do you feel like they always the best and most sincere uploads you can give?
Well, you know what, man? Like, especially with the week I just went through and what you just said, I just had an epiphany that everybody might not be equipped or want to see all of this.
No, that don't answer the question.
Well, that's how I feel. It's just like what I offer is self-awareness. Not self-awareness in the sense of the term, self-awareness that if I can see something that I relate to you, hold on.
No, you changing the term because she just made it a perception, but just an opinion. Just, hey, blase blah, and then, you know, that turned into an upload. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what I'm asking you.
So, and that's the thing. And that's the thing, like, because how I would take it is, if I like this person and they said this, I'd be like, oh, okay. If I didn't like this person and they said that, I'd be like, what the fuck you worried about what look good on me for? You don't like me like that for real? What is your intent in telling me this hat looks good on me?
Yeah.
So, like, that's why it matters. Now, say I liked them before and then I don't like them afterwards. I'm like, well, how does hat look on me? How do I think this hat look on me? Because I did like it because this person said it looked good on me and I trusted them. But now, what do I think of this hat?
Yeah.
So that's why I think you have to be aware, because some things you say, and we talk about, you're aware of the situation where I'm stepping into situations where I'm dealing with people and I don't even see it. You know what I mean?
And
you
vice
see the
versa.
intent, and vice versa. Yeah.
You gave a bunch of examples for me, and that was one vice versa where you had put the perspective out there, and it was like, damn, okay, what the fuck do I keep saying this shit? Like, You know what?
That's why, like, the deeper I go into consciousness and awareness, like, it falls on you. Because somebody can want to sell you something. How bad do you want that something? How much do you know about that something that you're willing to spend whatever amount of money you want on? Because if you know enough, you're going to be like, how much you want for that? I got this. I ain't paying that for that.
Yeah, no.
Like, what are you talking about? I know you're trying to get some money. Now you can level with them. Like, I know your intent. I ain't trying to play you, but don't play me. You know what I mean? Like, you can level with them on that level, but otherwise, you probably just going to buy whatever that item is for whatever price they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when I be communicating with people, because I'm always trying to shoot out uploads. That's what we doing here now. But I'm always trying to do it with the best intentions, most sincere intentions, you know what I'm saying, possible that I can. You know what I'm saying? I never, even if I don't know you, I'm still going to try to give you the best uploads that I feel like I can give you on the level that you are. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes I try to give them a little bit higher so you can have something to reach for. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, man. Like, and I agree. That's the position I come from, and I've came from since I became more self-aware. When I had that epiphany, it just hit me, like you said, everybody ain't trying to be light. Everybody ain't got the same goal, even if we really relate. You know, so while I'm sitting here opening these doors to show you the depth within yourself. You could have been like, bruh, I'm scared of heights. I'm scared. I can't swim. You know what I mean? Like, I can't handle this depth. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's when you said that, I thought about that, because like some people just comfortable in the shallow end.
Yeah, I'm comfortable, but sometimes I like to go out there and hang out in the deep end for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm used to just being.
I know I'm limited to how long I can float out there, though. You know what I'm saying? I could stand in shallow water longer, but I can go float for a little decent.
And that's your, like, you're aware enough, and I'm aware enough to be like, look, I can't float that long.
Yeah.
You always float, nigga. I'm like, yo, I can't stay grounded that long. You be grounded all the time. I'm like, all right, help me figure out how to be more grounded. You like, all right, nigga, help me figure out how to float.
Yeah.
You like, that's what it takes, that awareness, even within yourself and outside of yourself, to just be like, all right, bro, I want to float. This nigga's floating. I gotta ask him how to float. I be like, yo, this dude is on the ground. I can't figure out how to stay down there. I promise you, I keep trying.
I'm tired. Everything around my ankles, my feet down. I'm doing everything I possibly can, bro. Let's just take this float together. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, man, like, and that's the thing that I'm going to figure out. How much can I take being on the ground? That's something I'm not used to. You know what I mean?
I used to be afraid of heights. Not anymore. But we've been running this episode a little long, you know what I'm saying? We've been dropping some stuff out there for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to open up the perspectives a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? We got some air over here, we got some water over here, you know what I'm saying? But it's been another dope episode, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
y'all make sure y'all definitely tap in with the motherfucking Vinegar Hill mag, you know what I'm saying? I always got the links in the description. Everything, you know what I'm saying? I'm your boy TrakBeatz. We got my man Cheno Bliss in the building.